All right.
So, the question is, is Lord Capulet genuinely concerned about his daughter's welfare, or is he
Egotistical and self-centered.
So, my argument is that, so he is Lord Capulet. He's genuinely concerned about his daughter's welfare. He's a father who cares about his daughter and how she does later on in life. So he wants his daughter to marry a good man that is made, he's pretty wealthy and he can provide for her a good life which she can live.
I think it's similar. I think he cares about later in life. He cares about later in his life, as marrying, her to Paris would not only, or would expand his wealth, combining it with Paris's and his.
So that's true as well. I believe that both of those things are kind of true, but I mean, he is a father, and most fathers, I can't speak for all fathers obviously, but most fathers are gonna want their daughters to do as well as they can. So my next argument, in the beginning of the play, Lord Capulet is doubtful of the marriage. So he says, "My child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride." So he wants to wait another 2 years. See, but then...
Now, he doesn't actually end up waiting for 2 more years.
Yeah.
After Tybalt's death, a very convenient place, Paris just asks him, and he turns around, changes his mind completely, and says, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Well, I had one more argument for that. So, but later, in that same conversation, he says that as long as Paris can get her heart, as long as Juliet wants to do this, then he'd be fine with Paris. And so that, to me, says that he's more concerned about his daughter and who she loves and who she wants to be with than he is about his own wealth.
But keep in mind, when Paris did ask him and he changed his mind, it was late at night, Juliet was well in bed, everyone was asleep, he would have been in bed an hour ago. Juliet wasn't there. Capulet just goes, "Sure, I'll do it." And he knows she wasn't happy about it because in the bedroom scene, he goes into a spiraling rage and slaps her upside the face.
Well, I believe that he does that because his daughter, she's only 14 years old. I mean, as a 15-year-old myself, I know that I'm not all wise and I don't really know what's going to be best for me in my future. And that's why I have my parents there to guide me and to tell me what I need to do. Maybe not who I need to marry, but at this time that was a very, very common thing. So Lord Capulet, he does change his mind, but he does it for his daughter. He does it to make his daughter happier after her cousin, who she loved, Tybalt, died. So he knew that in the beginning of her marriage, she would not be happy. So he knew all of that, but after Tybalt's death, he thought that it would be better if she was married to a man, because that would then make her happier in the long run, definitely, and even in a few weeks or months, he had hoped.
Well, keep in mind that the death of Tybalt was kind of convenient almost. I feel like he knew about the connection between Romeo and Juliet because it all changes after Romeo is banished, Tybalt is dead.
But remember,
she tries to remarry him. I'm not saying he necessarily knows about the marriage, but I think he thinks something is up between the two of them.
But remember, in the beginning, he was not going to let Paris marry his daughter. So, it wouldn't really be convenient for his beginning plan, because his beginning plan was not to make his daughter marry Paris. He wasn't even going to let her marry Paris, but he changed his mind because of Tybalt's death.
Alright, so let's come to a conclusion. What do we think is happening then? Do we really think he's self-centered, or do we think he just has some flaws, maybe?
I think that I believe that he is partially doing this for his own wealth, but that is not, I mean, that's more of a side thing. It's more like, oh, it's nice, it's coming along on the side, but I'm not really doing it for that. I'm doing it for the good of my daughter, is what I believe.
All right. I think you've convinced me. I'm seeing your ways about the flaws of Capulet and his good sides. I think that wraps that one up.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next argument. So the debate is whether Friar Lawrence is a good man trying to unite two lovers, or